What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen and this is Valley Buzzsaw. In today's video, I'm finishing the creation of my cardboard winter scene that I started last week. If you saw part 1 of this two-parter, then you know I had extreme time management issues. And I had a fear the same could happen this week, but even though decoupage took forever, the rest of this cardboard DIY went pretty okay. Well, okay-ish, but we'll get to all of that. If you like DIY projects, DIY home improvement, and cleaning motivation, then go ahead and subscribe down below. I post on Fridays and some Sundays, so do all the things for notifications too. Like I said, decoupaging took a while, so let's get moving along.
A cup of coffee in the morning, and I get the paper. I check the headlines and decide that I am bored. I check my email and I decide to answer later. Another cup of coffee and I drag myself to work. My life is grounded in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know.
Like I said last time, I have a good number of these simple shaped layers with only one cutout. These were my favorite because I could get them done in about 15 minutes a piece. Actually, I timed myself and hit a record of 13:06 on my best time. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I can't help it if I've got the crafting skills. I'm using a lot of my favorite products in this DIY, so I'll link to everything I'm using down in the description. If you shop my links, I make a little, but you pay the same. That helps me to keep making videos, and I definitely appreciate the support. So, this one. I could literally sigh over this layer. This is the one that made everything shift. I don't know who I thought I was with all these teeny trees in corrugated cardboard. Like that was gonna hold together. Spoiler, it only sorta worked out. Hang in until the beauty shots. Actually, this is probably a good time to talk about why I said in part 1 that I messed this whole thing up, because I definitely did. The problem is, I lined this whole thing up as if it were a painting. Remember this? I put the horizon line at about the middle of the thing. The only problem with that is this is a 3D scene. The perspective should be created with the size and layout of the shapes. That way, when you look into the thing, your eye is drawn in by the receding size, which I kinda did, but again, I used the middle as the horizon line when I should have used the half-inch frame. In a painting, you have to force perspective so things don't look wonky because the canvas is flat. Turns out forcing perspective in 3D does nothing more than cover the entire thing with a foreground that isn't there. But it isn't totally destroyed, so hang tight. So no, you're not wrong. We're still doing decoupage. I didn't actually add up all the clips to see how much time it took to do this, but suffice to say, it was a lot. It was a sticky mess, and I definitely should have used something other than grocery store papers, because later you'll see them all bubble under paint. Hold tight, the fun fails just keep coming, peeps. I added some extra layers of decoupage to some of the fine detail pieces, and before I knew it, I was coating the backing. Then I went and peeled off the inch-thick layer of glue that I had all over my fingers. I'm not gonna lie though, that was kind of fun, like being back in kindergarten. I left everything to dry overnight. didn't need added challenges with this thing, so I spent a few minutes marking the top and number order on the back of each piece. I did question if this was necessary, but I'd taken the thing this far and refused to be beat at the 11th hour by some stacking order mistake. And with all of that done, I was ready to start painting. At the time of this voiceover, I don't have an edge piece created, but I'm hopeful I get that done before this video goes up. I won't film it, but if I did get it done, you'll know it in the beauty shots. But before we can get to beauty shots, I have to add details to make this thing at least passable as a first attempt at 3D cardboard art. Once paint dried on the first half of my pieces, I could start putting this thing together. Sadly, I only have limited space and heavy stuff to weigh these down, so I had to do all of this in stages. Because if everything else wasn't enough, every single piece cupped under the liquid. Of course it did. It's fine though, the glue will help to give rigidity, and I'm using my favorite Aleene's Clear Gel Tacky Glue for this because I want a strong bond that dries clear and flat. I let the moons dry for a while, then attached them to the backing piece. I started out clamping with binder clips, but I didn't have enough large ones to fit around some of the thicker sections, so I ended up ditching them and went with heavy hardcover books instead. I used the bottom edge to be my true edge on this thing. I figured if I wanted to put it out on a shelf or something, it probably shouldn't tip over. And that helped with gluing too, because I could easily line things up. With the first half drying and compressing under my entire collection of faux finishing and design books, I got back to painting. The deer got 2 coats, but the rest of this got 1. I used extra paint on the raised details, but everything else, I just wanted to seal up the paper and glue before adding more glue to hold it all together. The top frame piece got 2 solid coats of black craft acrylic on the face. Oh yeah, I should actually point out, I only painted the front side of everything, other than the backing piece, but I did use white on the backs in a few spots to give the illusion of streaming moonlight. With all the paint dry, I gathered my stacks and got the last of everything glued together. I stacked it up and left everything to cure and compress overnight. Well, there she is. What do you guys think? I don't hate it, but next time I try to make a winter scene out of cardboard, I'm doing it the other way. Leave me a comment if you'd be interested in seeing that. I'd be happy to make a video, especially if it turns out visible in the end. If you like cardboard crafts and other DIY projects, then like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. That's what I do over here and would love to have you join my fun time party. Thanks so much for watching. Later, peeps!